Welcome back to the It Show, and today we have a very special edition of our show because what is today, Edelio?
Today is the day before Christmas. No, it's not.
It's not the day before Christmas.
But it feels like it.
Christmas is in a few days, so you might notice a few things that are just slightly different about our office. We got some awesome decor thanks to the great mind of Edelio Sanchez here, which brings me to my next piece. Guys, we are so close to 50 subscribers. Right. Now that is a huge win for us because, you know, going from 0 to 50, you got to start somewhere, and there will be a day. I anticipate that this day will be sometime next year, September 8th, 2026. We will hit 1,000 subscribers. That's my call.
Okay.
If it happens sooner, then fantastic.
Yeah, but we're aiming.
September 8th, on record.
Yes.
So if you like what we talk about, you find it valuable, share it with a friend, subscribe, comment. It would mean the world to us. So Edelio, talk to us, man. What do we got today?
Well, today we have the special Christmas episode of the It Show. I think we should focus on a little bit of reflection. We should focus on introspection and also outlook. What are we outlooking for 2026? What are the goals that we have in store? But I think we definitely need to start with, let's acknowledge what this 2025 year was like for both of us. I wanna know, for you specifically, what were, I guess, like, I had a roommate that used to do this and I loved it. Give me a rose petal and a thorn about your day, and we would talk about that. So give me a rose petal and a thorn about 2025.
Oh man, rose petal, I would say building the team, man. Building my team. We've had a difficult time finding a trusted Spanish lender who communicated well and does a good job so we can service our Spanish database. And we got him. His name is Alex. He's doing a great job. People love him. He's a ball of energy.
I met Alex.
Yeah,
Tall
great.
drink of water, dude.
Tall sip of wine, I'd rather.
Yes.
Let's call him that.
Let's go.
He was at the holiday party, your office's holiday party. But he was, kind of, I don't want to say he was the life of the party, but he was a big part of it. Yeah. There's probably 5 people who were setting the tone on the dance floor.
Right.
Every time I saw him, he was just wetter and wetter. Like, why he's so wet? He's like, oh man, because I'm dancing. Why are you not sweating? I'm like, I guess I'm not dancing enough. And people are noticing. And he's just such good energy, and coachable, willing to put in the work. So I would say the rose petal is definitely that. I would say the thorn in my side, or I guess not in my side, but my thorn for 2025 would also lead back to team. Is, you start pouring into people, start investing into people, and then they don't work out for whatever reason. And kind of looking back at it and realizing, like, we can't be so attached to somebody's goals more than, or committed to their goals more than they're committed to themselves. And that was like a big thing for me because we had somebody who, she really, really wanted to win. You probably know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or at least she led me to believe she really wanted to win. And I was absolutely committed to helping her. But, time and time again, it's like, well, you say you want this, but your actions are out of alignment with what you're saying you want. So do you really want this or not? And, kind of the thorn situation is, I think we have to be willing to make decisions much, much quicker as leaders. And that's probably, for me, one of the bigger lessons is make a decision quick. What do they say? They say hire slow, fire fast.
Yes.
I mean, I had signs within the first week and I just chose to ignore them because I was so committed to helping her win. When in reality, probably should have made a decision much, much sooner. But, you live and you learn, and that's where experience comes from.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't help but think about the workshop that we did literally yesterday about identity. It's so difficult to understand somebody's identity just based on what they show you initially, right? But eventually their identity is going to show up, whether it's in congruence with what they're saying or not. I don't think there's a way for any of us to be able to understand somebody's identity in just an instant. So
of course not.
yeah,
It's like dating. That's why dating's hard.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through that anymore.
Yeah.
I guess we date employees on a professional level, things
Yeah.
of that nature. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you put on the mask of what you want to portray.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to kind of see through those things, but there's patterns that you notice if you're around somebody long enough. And I remember back in the day, my first time around in business, this was in 2008. It's crazy to think. How old are you now?
35.
35. All right. So we're both basically 40. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what my wife and we just rode a roller coaster for the first time.
No, we're not.
We rode a roller coaster
Stop it.
for the first time after turning 35 last night, and we were both disoriented, which is like the first time that this has happened.
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe it, but it was like, oh, this is new.
It's a reality
This is
shift.
different.
Yeah.
I felt the G's. I usually it's like, yeah. This time I was like, oh, that feels a little different. Like, oh, let me. Normally this is me, and it's just like, oh, just take life by the horns, and just whatever happens, happens. I know I'm safe. Whereas yesterday I was like, intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Talking about goals, like, I want to throw this back to you because I know you have a lot of insight here.
Mm-hmm.
What is your rose petal, and what is your thorn for 2025?
Rose petal, there's absolutely nothing bigger and better than my son. Man, I know it's cliche, but I wasn't prepared for like the monumental shift in my outlook for things. Mm-hmm. They tell you that, yeah, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna be the best thing that you've ever experienced. But just actually living it it's that, but at a much grander, more complex scale. Because kids aren't just beautiful, amazing, life-fulfilling little things all the time.
Right.
They can be extremely stressful. They can be extremely fear-inducing, especially if you don't know what's happening. If they're the first time that he had spit up and he was just kind of like making these noises, I freaked out. Yeah. Right? Like I didn't know what to expect. Now it's different, but
yeah,
it's the complexity of it is so enormous that I couldn't have been ready for it. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just the experience. But yeah, that's definitely the rose. It's just it keeps on keeping me on my toes, keeps on challenging me, and keeps on reminding me of what's important.
Right.
Which is something that I struggled with before. So that's a huge blessing. And the thorn.
You mentioned that it was something you struggled with. Mm-hmm. Because obviously you know what's important.
Yeah.
Or at least you believe you know what's important. Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by, stating that you struggled with it?
It comes back to identity. I feel like I want to be a certain type of person. I have a very specific outlook of how I want to not only carry myself publicly or personally, privately, business-wise. I want it all to be congruent, but the reality is that's not the truth for a lot of us. For a lot of us, if we're going to be transparent and honest, we have certain parts of our lives, whether it's a private life, the public life, that may not be in alignment with that identity that we want to be. And I think for a long time, I kind of struggled with that, knowing what I wanted, saying these things, practicing, taking the actions, but sometimes it wouldn't stick, right? Sometimes I would revert back to some of my bad habits, right? They say bad habits die slow.
Yep.
And it's extremely true, especially if these are habits that you have identified with for so long, since you were a kid or since you were a teenager. So that for me has been very eye-opening.
So let's rip this back and peel the onions, right? Because this show is all about independent thinking and being honest, being open, being real. What were some of those habits for you where you knew you probably shouldn't do, but it was something that you identified with, so it was still kind of hard to break?
The biggest one, and the one that's still kind of shifty, let's say, is the instant dopamine thing.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time, and this is no shade to my parents, they had great intentions, but for the longest time, my parents raised me to earn my dopamine. right? Like if you want to feel good, go out there and play, earn your dopamine, right? If you want to have fun, make fun, like have it, do it. Like go out there and have some sort of input through your body and then get the output from life. And I feel like that all kind of shifted after my teenage years, when I started to get more exposed to, like, my perspective opened up because of my friendships, because of the people that I was hanging out with, and the things that I was consuming. So little by little, it started showing me a completely different side of the world that, like, no shade to my parents, but I do feel like maybe deletion is not the way, right? Deleting the things that I don't want you to do. Maybe there should be some sort of controlled exposition to things, right? Like I want my kid to understand all the options that he has, but to be able to have the discernment to choose the right thing. And that's what it comes down to, discernment.
Are you saying that they would just take something away from you as opposed to giving you the option to make the choice to remove it from your life if it was, to be fair, something that didn't serve you?
Yeah, exactly. And
like in today's world, we're probably talking about iPads.
Right. Back in the day, it was my PlayStation. So it was one of those things where
it's still PlayStation for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let's be fair.
Yeah, it really is.
But I think that we're in a world right now where gaming is more prevalent, especially amongst young men.
Yeah.
Even older men. There's a lot of older men who play games now. And I think it's because you are still, like, you're chasing that dopamine. Every time you hop on, you're chasing that dopamine. It's kind of like the difference on, like, social media. You're getting those hits like this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this doesn't hit me in 2 seconds, or in a lot of cases less. You know what I mean? And you're always chasing that next one. Where when you're gaming, you're competing, which I'm not mad at, because that's how real life works.
Yeah.
I don't know if I disagree with your parents in terms of chasing your dopamine and earning your dopamine.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how it should be. If you're, like, for example, my son finished soccer, and he just finished football, but he did soccer. This happened during soccer season, and he got a little, medal, but they didn't win anything. It's like, Dad, look what I have. He got it at the end of the season, and he shows it to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I didn't give him that, like, oh my God, wow, because it's like, to be fair, there's no champions in the league. There was, when he was competing, it was just one of those things where the season ends and it ends, and there's no first place or no second place. It's just a season where people just kind of go through it and whatever. But I know he didn't get the high he was expecting.
Yeah.
From me, that he didn't receive that love that he certainly expected. And I think that that's how it should be, though.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have, in hindsight, probably should have given him a little bit more appreciation, because there was nothing to win. So it's like, great, you finished the season, congratulations, like, there you go. But if there's no placement,
yeah,
what are we celebrating? Like, you just finished the job, and I kind of want them to believe what is important is finishing. So I should have celebrated a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're a new father, younger father rather, and I think one thing you'll figure out pretty quickly is, like, nobody has all the answers. Yeah. Nobody knows. Like, your parents didn't know any better.
Right.
And people write books about it, but let's be real. Like, those experts too are like, we're figuring it out as we go.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
So you figure it out, you just do your best, and your best is always good enough.
That's a big secret. And most people don't realize it until they're right smack in the middle of it. It's like, well, everything they told me is not fucking working. So, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm harping on my parents. They did an incredible job. I do feel like no matter how they would have gone, I would have found a way to get into my own set of troubles, right? Like, I would have found a way to still challenge some of the narratives and some of the things that they gave me, and to find my own way. Because I feel like deep down, I just have way too much curiosity. Like, I know that you're the same way. Like, we're curious about shit that most people might not even touch. They might not even care to look at, because it either feels icky, or it feels bad, or it tickles a part of you that's just not ready maybe yet to. Listen, keep it to yourself. Okay, I'm gay now, so Watch what you say to me.
Clip that.
I'll fucking cancel you.
Yeah, that's a real.
Oh shit, that's funny. But yeah, dude, in terms of being able to get through that little valley of disappointment and then come out with the understanding that like, okay, well, they wanted me to just keep going in this trajectory. I don't think that anybody in life has ever just upwards, upwards, upwards. There's always a valley. There's always a dip, because I think that's where the lessons are at.
100%. Yeah.
I want to understand so badly how, I guess, the future plays out. That's part of the curiosity, right? Is understand, okay, if I do these things, mathematically speaking, if I input this times this, it'll equal this. But part of the fun of everything that we do and all the life experience that we go through is the unknown, that not knowing.
The uncertainty.
Yeah, what's coming. And now more than ever, and my wife and I have been talking about this, now more than ever we feel this level of excitement to just improv with life, play with life, see what it is that the universe, God, has in store for us, whether it's good or bad perceivably, and then just try and still approach it from the same identity that we're trying to really make stick. So that's exciting for her.
So what is the identity that you're trying to make stick?
The one that I wrote down on the paper yesterday?
Sure.
I am undeniable. That's the identity. And I feel like I've played at being undeniable before, but I haven't really understood what it takes to be undeniable. And what it takes to be undeniable is a follow through that I didn't have before, is a standard of operating that I didn't have before. Like, these are all concepts and ideas that I played with and I grasped loosely, but I didn't tattoo them in my brain, in my soul. And that's outlook-wise, goal-wise, that's the big thing for this next year, is make sure that my identity is honored throughout everything that I do and with every single interaction that I have.
So let me ask you about that, because identity is one of those things where I remember Tony Robbins would talk about people who smoke cigarettes, and, you know, having a strong enough anchor that basically, or a lever that helps make those decisions stick.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's pain, right? It's pain or pleasure. That's the push-pull metric. And he's like, the people who stop smoking and like they never smoke a cigarette again, is they change their identity as, I don't smoke. And I found this out actually during 75 Hard. When I went through 75 Hard, I remember the language shifted around the way that I spoke. And you could tell because I did 75 Hard and I was doing it with other people who were doing 75 Hard. And, you know, I knew the people who were lying about doing it just by the way they spoke, which was really, really interesting, because I became really keen on the way you spoke. Like, and I knew if they were going to fail, because they're talking about, like, it's so hard not to eat pizza. Like, I really want pizza. It's been 14 days since I haven't had like pizza. It's like,
They're yearning
where as opposed to, yeah, I don't eat pizza. I don't eat simple carbs anymore. Like, I just don't eat simple carbs.
Yeah.
And then now it's an identity, and it's that I am statement that's so powerful. Like, that's just who I am. I just don't do it. And then now you don't have that. Like, sure, you might still crave the things, but when you identify as something, oh my goodness, I just had a revelation. This must be how trans people feel.
Bringing it back full circle.
Oh my goodness, that's probably how they feel.
That's it. That's literally it. And most people don't realize that they identify with something that they don't, that the outside people don't identify them as. And that's what.
Right. That's so interesting. Because I believe that you can believe things that empower you or disempower you.
Yeah.
So choose wisely. And so I think, like, the identity moving forward, like you said, undeniable.
Yeah.
I actually really like that word. Mine was really about mine was alignment. It was just alignment. Because alignment for me checked all of the boxes of, like, when I'm aligned, I'm not saying yes to things I don't want to say no to.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Very
like, and one thing I want to get really, really good at is saying no without an explanation. I want to get really good at this because sometimes I feel really compelled to give a reason why I'm saying no.
The people pleaser inside you.
Yeah. It's like, I had somebody reach out to me the other day that we haven't closed a deal in like 16 months. And she says, hey, Will, would you mind doing co-marketing with me so that, my business slowed down? I would love to do some co-marketing together so we can close a deal.
Yeah.
It's like, we haven't closed a deal in 16 months and you're asking me for $500 a month.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's a tall ask. Yeah.
It's like, okay, maybe
bring me
some deals and then we can have the conversation because now it's a mutually beneficial relationship. But at the same time, like, I feel like there needs to be an explanation as to why I'm saying no. Right. And that's one thing I kind of struggle with and I want to get better at because your no should mean no and your yes should mean yes. And in a lot of cases, you shouldn't feel obliged to give an explanation. The recipient shouldn't have to be entitled to having a reason behind why you're saying no either. I get sometimes it makes sense, and this is where the politically correctness kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I'm saying no, should I give you a full answer, or should I just say no for the sake of saying no because I don't want to do it? Or should you just say no, I just don't want to do it?
Yeah.
As opposed to looking for an excuse as to why you don't want to do it.
I resonate with that heavy.
Yeah.
And I can also attest to the fact that like 75 Hard also unlocked that for me. The ease of just not giving energy to something that hasn't earned my energy. And I think that's what you're looking for. Your energy, whether it comes out as financial assistance for mutual benefit or your knowledge or your help, your emotion, whatever it is, it's energy. You're giving energy in a different form every single time. And somebody hasn't earned the right to receive that energy. There's scripture that talks about this. Do not cast pearls onto swine. And it's heavy. Like you're calling somebody swine.
You're right.
But the rest of the quote is really what's important here. Lest they turn around and trample you and rend you dead. Meaning people can take your energy and use it against you. And that's one of the biggest things that I think most people don't realize is, especially most people that have this essence of a people pleaser, is because you have this pure energy, because you have this big heart, let's call it, you're going to interact with multiple different types of people. Some are going to be benevolent, and some are going to be the fucking vampires that cannot wait to get their next people pleaser. And that's one big thing that I feel like most people pleasers have to realize eventually is you have the honey. You've attracted the bees. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to happen. The same happens with that identity. It's almost like a tuning fork. The more that you hit this tuning fork at a certain frequency, or the tuning fork is already, let's say, F sharp, right? I'm hitting my tuning fork at F sharp, and I'm putting it inside of me, and then everything about me is resonating at F sharp. But if what I'm saying to people is I'm a G, that was a bar.
That was a pun. Okay.
If I'm saying to people, hey, I'm a G, but I'm resonating inside as an F sharp, eventually they're gonna hear the bullshit coming out of my resonance.
Right.
Because that's just the way it is. Same happens with the people pleasing thing, I feel like. Whenever we're resonating at this benevolent, good intentioned frequency, we're inevitably going to attract the people that might be sick, because it is a sickness to want to take advantage of somebody else, to want to do something, takes from somebody without giving back.
Well, couldn't it also be argued that that frequency will attract more pure hearts?
Yeah, that too. You get both. You get both. And that's where the wisdom and the discernment comes into play, because the more that you go through some of these lessons, some of these valleys, the better you get at spotting these characteristics that you've seen before. So in essence, you get patterns. You start recognizing them easier. You start being able to, like, I've seen this before. Not only have I seen this before, but I know what happens next. And then boom, there it is. And you go like, man, I'm getting good at this shit. and then you pat yourself on the back and you walk the fuck off. But man, I'm so excited that we're doing this now. That's another thing that I'm really grateful for this year is the fact that we took the chance to start this thing, start this platform, just because of an alignment that we both had. Like we realized that we both align in this very specific way, which is speak your mind, think freely, think differently. And we're just like, let's fucking join forces and do this thing. And I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but dude, I think we've done a really good job at not only staying consistent, but also developing ourselves better as, like you've said, as speakers, as people that are able to hold a stream of thought that's malleable, and that translates to everything else that we do. So I'm really thankful that
But I think there's a lesson in that too. If we talk about alignment and kind of like, because I think that being undeniable and being in alignment, what it always trickles down to, which is why alignment kind of is like that word for me, because alignment is consistent.
Yeah.
Right. Undeniable, in order to be undeniable, it is to be consistent. Right. So it's that level of consistency to the plan. And our plan was to shoot at least once every single week. And we haven't been 100% because if you had a kid and, it challenges things for sure. But we're right back to it. But I think that a plan executed at 50% is still better than a plan that's perfectly planned and never executed on.
Right.
So I think that inside of action is where the results come from at the end of the day, no matter what it is. It's just the action, because the answers, the development, all of the things actually come from just taking the small steps towards where it is you want to go. Yeah. Another thing I wrote on my piece of paper was like database. I got to get better. I have to get better at database. And it just seems so simple, but it's one of those things in my mind when I think about database and I think about these things, it's like, it feels like a fucking suck, like a vampire or a leech just like draining everything out of me because it's not my zone of genius.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an operations job. You know what I mean? But like, that's a terrible way to think about it. So now I'm shifting the language that I'm using towards it now is like, I love database. Because I have to love database.
Yeah.
For me to be aligned with the vision that I have of my life, database is the way. Because at this point, I've been blessed enough now to do, I think, like 840 closings in my career, which I feel super fucking blessed for.
Yeah.
How much database marketing do I do? I don't.
Right.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
So, but like there's enough there that could feed me for a lifetime, which takes me to a next thought and kind of something that you spoke about a little bit earlier today, which was where the world is going, or like the uncertainty of things is what keeps us feeling alive and excited. And let me just go through it without knowing the outcome. Elon Musk a couple of days ago, you see what he said?
The IPO for SpaceX?
No. He said, there's no point in saving money. No point in saving money right now.
Speak your shit, Elon.
He said, in the next 10 to 20 years, work will be entirely optional. All economic value will be driven by robots and AI. And it's not going to be universal basic income that everybody's thinking, like everybody's going to kind of be on like a UBI, which is universal basic income, which is kind of like a small social security check or whatever to cover your basic needs. He said it's going to be universal high income. There's not going to be any scarcity anymore. Everybody's going to be on a level playing field, and it's just going to be everybody's going to have more than enough for everything.
Yeah.
So work will be just completely optional, which is fucking wild.
It is wild. Doesn't a part of you, because we've been conditioned for so long to have this hustle, this go get it, this capitalist mentality, doesn't a part of you just look at that and go, I don't believe you?
I want to believe that, but I don't think that I do believe it. Like, I want to believe that it won't happen, but I think when you look at it, it's like it's going to happen.
It's undeniable.
Undeniable. It's I mean, first off, if Elon Musk is saying it, there's probably a lot of truth to it, and he has more data and he has way more foresight than probably any of us, which is why he's Elon Musk and which is why he's done everything that he's done.
Yeah.
Is that he thinks lifetimes ahead of the average person.
Yeah.
Like, and we're average people, right? We might be slightly higher in terms of intellect than the average person per se. However, we're not Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like, we have to be real enough to know that.
There's levels to
If this is what he's saying, it's like, damn, it's kind of scary, because it's like, what is the point of all the work? But at the same time, the uncertainty is he could also be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't actually know. And it kind of feeds into, like, right now, one of the most popular games in the universe, just won Game of the Year. You know what game I'm talking about? A multiplayer game of the year, rather. You know what game I'm talking about?
No. Who?
Arc Raiders.
Damn.
So Arc Raiders is basically, it's a PvPvE game, right? And we're not here to talk about video games, but we are going to talk about this video game because it kind of looks like where we're heading in the world.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So it's a PvPvE, so it's basically humans now live underground. And it's a looter shooter, which means you have to go topside, which is into civilization, above ground, to gather materials, food, resources, so that you can take it down underground so that you could survive and get what you need and whatever. So the humans now they're hunkered underground, and robots have taken over the world.
Right.
And they're very hostile. They see you, they kill you.
Yeah.
Like, so now you have humans who are going topside to gather stuff to bring back home, but you don't know if you can trust each other.
Right. Because you're still human.
Because you're still human. Like, hey, I think you have food. We should work together against a common enemy, but I got to feed my family.
Yeah.
And what this game has actually revealed is that more than likely we would do the exact opposite because of our need of self-preservation. Which is kind of like terrifying a little bit.
Yeah.
If AI wasn't a problem enough already, now you got to worry about your own people.
Yeah. I think we've always had to worry about our own people. If we're putting, calling a spade, because the original story, right? The story of Jesus, the story of Muhammad, the story of Buddha, right? These are stories of people who had this curiosity about, is there something else? Is there more to this place? And they go on a journey, they reach God, and they come back with the answers. And they try and help everybody else. But the reality of the situation is everything it's almost like a fractal of each other. We're looking through some sort of fractal reality where the video game is the way it is because it's modeled after how humanity really is. Within humanity, there's going to be the people that are underground, the people that are the Underground Railroad type of energy, where you know what you need to do, you know how to get yourself and your loved ones to liberation, right? The story of the Matrix. But you need to go below the surface of who's really behind some of the biggest powers and the biggest call shots that are being made in this reality. So
who's making the shot? Who's calling the shots right now?
Well, that's a $1 million question right there. I would love nothing more than to know that. My curiosity just can't help itself. But it's looking like things are pointing in a singular direction these days. And it's scary. It's scary to think that may be a reality that we live in, that things aren't just completely random. That there is a narrative that keeps being pushed. They keep putting ad spend behind it, and they keep making sure that you identify with what they want you to know, what they want you to feel. And when you have marketing that's strong towards your own identity, man, that's a big problem. That's a big issue. That's what the robots are doing. They're making you identify, right? In the video game, You already identify as these people, as these underground dwellers. They just have to go out for scraps. That's your identity. If you were to identify, like, why am I doing this? Why are we not rising against? Why isn't there some sort of way to get past it, right? The path of the hero's story, the story arc, right? Neo goes through that path.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda, right? Another video game. That little
You mean Link?
Link goes through that path.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter goes through that path. Frodo. These are all people that are going through a path that most people, when they're faced with the choice, are you going to take the adventure and there's nothing's guaranteed, or are you going to do the same shit that you've been doing and you know exactly what to expect, but you're going to fucking hate it at the end? Most people keep making the wrong choice against what God created them to be. And it's kind of freaky to think that there may be a faction of this reality that kind of wants to keep making you make that same choice, keep reinforcing that hypnotic rhythm of going back to this identity that you have had for a long time. It doesn't serve you anymore, but it feels like a old pair of jeans that fit just right.
Mm.
It's weird.
It's good stuff, man.
It's a weird thing, man. But let's not get too freaky because it is Christmas.
It is Christmas.
It's Christmas. So let's bring it back up. Let's get the energy into what we actually want for the next year. I know we already touched a little bit on it, but what do you want for next? What do you want, Will Butler? Sit on my lap.
I want alignment, but I mean, I think a big one, if I were to identify like the obstacles that prevent alignment from happening, comes back to health, to be honest. Like honestly, since Thanksgiving break, oh my God.
You've had a little
I've been a mess. Well, I mean, Thanksgiving, it's always, for me anyways, Thanksgiving's like, oh, I'm going to eat until I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things. It's like, this is what we do. This is what I identify with, and I want to do it. I want to suffer. Like, I want the pain.
Yeah.
I feel like on Thanksgiving, I'm David Goggins in the wrong direction.
Who's gonna
like,
run the most?
Right, like, you ain't out eating me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might want to. You might think you can, but
hot dog eating contest mentality.
oh, dude, it was just painful. Like, I wasn't even, like, my second plate, I wasn't even enjoying myself, but I was like, I'm competing against my cousin. Even though we didn't say we're competing.
Right.
It's masculine energy.
Yeah.
It's finest.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, man, like, one of the revelations that I had was when I'm shooting content as well, when I'm shooting content consistently and I see myself on camera more consistently, I'm like, oh, I gotta work out. I gotta be in shape. Like, oh, look, that muffin top is kind of glaring right there.
Oh, pokey.
Those buys ain't bicepping right now, you know? So I think taking care of the health, because that takes care of so much. It helps with your energy. It helps with mindset. It releases the endorphins. It gets all those things going. And when you feel good and when you look good, you feel better.
Yeah.
And so like today I'm wearing a blazer. I'm dressed up. I've been dressed up. The last 3 days I left my house, I was dressed up. And like when I say dressed up, I'm wearing blazer, dress shoes, dress pants, all of it. Yeah. Well, I'm bringing it back because that's the identity that I want to start identifying with again.
Yeah.
You used to call me 3-Piece Willie. that was me, man. 3-Piece Willie.
3-Piece Willie.
If you go back to my
that's your porn name for sure.
3-Piece Willie. I mean, I don't know if that's my porn name. Sheesh. I prefer Big Mac if I were to have
Mac.
Yeah.
Big Mac truck.
I guess 3-Piece Willie is better than Lil Willie. But
yeah. Little Fry
Big Willie. Big Willie.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, bro. That was me. I used to want to have a clothing line. Which that ship has sailed in terms of like my ambition and love for it. Because when I first started getting into business, when I was young, I felt like I had to dress well so that I looked more professional and older. Whereas now I'm actually just older. Like
it's just part of it.
I want to kind of just be comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like when I think of Deontay, for example, right? When he's wearing like super casual clothes, because he's in such great shape, it still looks good and it still always looks presentable. But if you're out of shape and wearing the same clothes, it doesn't look as good and it doesn't look nearly as presentable. So I think that's where it starts, man. Just taking care of that. I want to be at 165. My wife thinks that's too small, but when I did 75 hard, I was 165 and I felt fucking yoked.
Incredible. Yeah.
Which, you know, she wants me to be 175 because she wants me a little girthier, you know, but I'm like, 175 is like 6 pounds.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not, I don't feel like that's a big enough goal for me. I feel like it's too easy.
Yeah.
So I gotta start measuring other things that I don't measure, like body fat and all of that stuff. I think it's what, BMI? Is that the official term?
No, BMI is more of like an all-encompassing body mass index, but your body fat. Have you done a DEXA scan yet? Oh, do a DEXA scan, like full body, where you lay down and they scan your whole body and they can actually tell you specifically, you see a whole x-ray of your body where you're holding most of your fat. And that, to me, seems to be like the most eye-opening thing, because genetically speaking, every single one of us stores fat a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Men and women, they both have, as different genders, they both have traditional things that they do. Like men, we hold a lot in our bellies and, you know, in our face. Women have it more in like their hips and their breasts and all these things. But in terms of,
Where do you hold it?
right in my cock.
God damn it. That was my joke, you motherfucker. I thought you were going to say like, oh yeah, I got it in my belly. I was like, I don't even need to take the test. I already know.
I'm top heavy.
Let the girth do the talking here, all right?
Oh shit, keep it in. We'll be right.
That or a commercial break.
Yeah. Our
Viagra.
Honestly, you know what? I think we might have our first sponsor, not a sponsor, but our first affiliate company for next year.
Okay.
I'm excited. We're gonna talk about this
Extends?
for the next episode. Blue Chew. Rhino.
Are you getting the ads or something?
No, dude. I mean,
You know that marketing's on point that like this motherfucker 35 years old, he's a man, probably got low T.
it's about to dip. It's about to dip.
Let's give him some. I remember the first time I saw Blue Chew was Cody Garbrandt. And I want to say when he was like,
It's Cody Garb.
bro, he used to be a UFC champion.
Cody. Yes.
I think at 125? Small guy,
Yeah.
but lightning quick. He had some power. He was undefeated until he lost. And then once he lost one, and he just started losing a lot after that.
That happens a lot. They
happens a
identify
lot.
with a loser.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
But I think it's always worse when you get knocked out cold. Like when you get knocked out, like it's hard to ever come back, which is why I didn't know Volk was going to be able to come back because it was a little rough.
Yeah.
But I think losing will make you a better fighter, though. When you get knocked out clean, you lose some of your chin durability, which is, I don't love that aspect of it. But if you lose just like a long decision, that'll make you a better fighter. Teach you what you need to work on.
If you make the right choice. Because losing is the opportunity. Here's the fork in the road again, right? Here's a loss. Are you going to pick yourself back up and identify who the fuck you are? Or are you going to let this circumstance, because that's all it is, define that for you?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people, they can make their way back. It's just a little harder because now you're straight from the path. You got to cut a couple weeds on the way back. But yeah, if you make the right choice, you can be Alex Pereira, right? Came in hot. Won twice against Izzy. The third time, bop, bop, bop.
It was a bad knockout, too.
It was a bad knockout. But head against the
He
canvas.
looks so much better at 205, though.
Yeah.
Just healthier, natural. Rumor has it he's fighting for the heavyweight interim title.
Yeah, he is. And that's going to be a fucking incredible slugfest.
Dude, I mean, he would be the first 3-division champ.
Fuck.
That'd be incredible.
I want that for him so bad.
Yeah, me too.
I want him to have that.
100%. But Searle was looking real good against Aspinall when they fought as well.
I didn't see that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it ended, with an eye poke.
That's right.
But
So
he was piecing him up. He was piecing him all up, yeah. So I'd be curious to see because, I mean, he's quick on his feet. He's light on his feet. His only weakness has always been grappling. Like he was beating Ngannou until Ngannou started grappling him. I can't see Pereira going for a takedown.
No.
So, but he's also a world-class kickboxer. So all I know is I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, which also reminds me, you were speaking about people losing. Marab just lost his belt to Peter Yan. Curious to see how I think he will come back better from it.
I mean, he's got way too good of a, I think, identity, right?
His identity and his style
is very much like himself. He doesn't give a flying fuck what you think of him, how you see him. He's gonna show up the same every time. And that's the type of pedigree that I feel is absolutely necessary to be a champion.
Yeah.
Not just a champion, but like somebody who lost a championship and came back. I'm excited for that.
Speaking of fights, are you watching the fights this weekend? There's 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them for sure.
Yeah. Who you taking?
I don't know who's fighting. But I will watch this guy.
Watching him for sure.
For sure.
Jake Paul's fighting Anthony Joshua tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. Have you seen some of the
Of course.
some of the marketing they've been doing?
But this is,
funny.
But this is Anthony Joshua. He's a bona fide
Killer.
former heavyweight champion. Yeah. Very good. And Jake Paul's moving up in weight. I think that he's strategically taking this fight because, like, I don't think they're fixing this fight. Anthony Joshua has too much to lose to lose.
Yeah.
And I think Jake has a good excuse if he loses. He's fighting a legitimate, probably top 5 heavyweight, possibly top 3 or 4. And I don't even know where he's ranked right now, but he's definitely up there. And, he's moving up in weight. So if he loses, like, well, of course he lost.
Yeah.
But, like, look how he held his own, And Andrew Tate's fighting on Saturday.
That's right.
Andrew Tate, which I'm really curious to see because
he hasn't fought in a minute.
Yeah, and he was a kickboxer, not a boxer. And, they don't really have the head movement like a boxer does. Yeah. And the guy he's fighting is like a former Too Hot to Handle TV star guy.
Oh, it's one of those. A hybrid celebrity fight.
But he's the champion. He's the champion of Misfits boxing promotion, which I think Andrew Tate owns.
I see.
I believe he owns it. I know he's the CEO.
So he said, like, let me come off my fucking chair and play with the boys for a second, essentially.
Yeah, it is funny because there's a clip where he's like, the guy he's fighting, his name is Chase Damore. You ever seen that clip where there was a guy on like one of the dating shows and then like a cockroach comes and flies and lands on his cheek?
Oh yeah.
That's the guy.
That's Love Island.
That's the guy.
Oh wow. That's funny.
And, but he's the champion now. Okay. And I remember he was like, he's talking on the mic at one of the press conferences trying to sell the fight. And he goes, he's like, dude, I'm going to start you the fuck out, bro. I chin people for a living. Hey, Andrew gets the mic. And Andrew's like world-class shit talker. And like, I don't, there's a few people I wouldn't want to go head to head with on this. Conor McGregor in his prime would not want to go head to head. And he would probably
obliterate you.
Dude, yeah. Verbally just like think of shit that you're like, yo, how do you think of it? Like, I remember when he fought Jose Aldo and he was at the press conference, he's like, if this was back then, we would ride into your village on horseback and enslave all the men. And he said some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
He's like, but this is a different era. So instead, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. I was like, yo, this dude's a gangster, bro.
Yeah. No. In his prime, McGregor was an insane shit talker.
Yeah.
Top tier.
World class. But Andrew Tate is one of those guys, and he goes, when Chase Damore says whatever he says, he's like, I'm gonna start you, bro. I chin people. And he's like, listen, we spent a lot of money on this, and now I'm your boss. Seriously, you gotta do better than that. So like, say the same thing that you just said again, but actually make it scary, because we gotta clip something, we gotta post it, we gotta sell this fight. So like, just do it again. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'll fuck. He's like, no, come on, do it again, but make it scary. Go. And the guy's just like,
yeah, he probably came back with something even weaker.
Weak. That guy,
yeah.
If you have, stat lines, in the video games, you have like 99 speed and like toughness, and bro, that dude maxed out 100 on shit talk.
Yeah.
But like the thing I love about like Andrew Tate's communication style is very articulate, and he's kind of like a ninja, because he will frame a thought and then lay it to you, like he would just feed it to you in a way that is easily comprehensible.
Yeah. He wants to digest exactly what he said.
Yeah, and he communicates very, very well.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, he ruffles some feathers for sure, but it's all by design, for sure. And dude, I think he's probably one of the best orators in the world. Probably. If there's somebody that I would want to listen into a debate about something that's real serious and something that they truly believe, he's somebody I would be 100% open to listening to debate about any subject that he believed in.
Yeah.
And Candace Owens.
Oh, dude, Candace is another one. It's a will. They have a will about them that is so strong. Like when you believe things to that degree, you have to feel bad about whoever comes at you with a completely different belief, because your mind is impenetrable. And not only is it impenetrable, but like you've thought about all the other ways. That's the level that you need to get to so that you can be so articulate, is you are extremely adamant about believing that this is the truth. But because I'm not going to just sleep on my laurels and stay on this playing field, I'm going to test it. That's a scientific aspect of communication. I'm going to test my belief against everything else. And then once I've tested it and I've really honed it in, right? Iron sharpens iron. Now I understand I'm sitting on a fucking holy grail of belief. And if you sit on that, anybody coming at you with some bullshit is going to just ping right off. Right. And those guys do that. Those guys do it. You can see it just on their following, right? You don't have to agree with what they say to realize they have a massive following. Massive.
Well, it's because they're so convicted in what they say too. And the thing is, even if like, when you walked in here, you went to the restroom earlier before we started, and I was watching a video, and the guy was talking about the power of your words. He was speaking on stage, and like when he started, he was about to light a cigarette, and everybody's looking at him because he has the microphone. He's like about to light a cigarette, and then he stops, and he starts stating all of these random facts. Like, I know what you were thinking. You were thinking that smoke kills. Like, why are you smoking in front of the room? But did you know that smoking kills a lot of people every year? But did you know diabetes kills 3 times more people per year than smoking does, than smoking cigarettes? But if I were to eat a Snicker bar up here, you wouldn't think anything. And he started dropping all these facts about diabetes, and he goes, but I made all of that up. And he's like, if you can communicate something in a way, people will believe whatever it is that you have to say. And I think that they've mastered the art of being able to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to be undeniable, I think, since this is your word, you have to be willing to be hated. You have to.
Yeah.
There's, in marketing, they say there's no money in the middle. You have to be polarizing enough for somebody to love you and polarizing enough for somebody to fucking hate you.
Yeah.
But if you're playing the middle, you're going to be neither.
Yeah. And no one's going to pay attention.
No one will pay attention.
That's part of it. That's part of being undeniable, is when you walk in the room, when you open your fucking mouth,
right,
you have to come correct, right? You can't just be talking about some bullshit. What you give now has to be undeniable. What is it that you have that cannot be denied?
Right.
And exactly what you're saying, it has to be honed, and honing the undeniability will inevitably bring some haters. And I think when I reframe my perspective about people that either have a problem with what I believe or what I say, I ultimately just land on the fact that, like, they just haven't done the work. And this is what 75 Hard gave both of us. When you do the work, when you see what it takes, and your identity shifts in that direction, you can see so clear as day when someone is bringing you something that's not true. And that's what the people that aren't doing the work, that's what they sound like. They sound like liars. That's why you can tell. Because now I know the truth. I know that this is every single bit of my belief and my strength and my courage is earned.
Yep.
They haven't earned it, and that's why they're hating.
And you could tell just by the language. You can tell a true terror, which is the interesting part, because if you understand how to communicate extremely effectively, you can communicate things that you maybe even don't believe and still be very compelling.
Lawyers do that.
Exactly. So now
The good
you
ones.
talk about being undeniable. So tell me again, you're going to be undeniable, but yada, yada, make it scary, make it believable. Say it again.
The reframe for it, that was good. The reframe for it is the biggest part of the puzzle, right? Because I watched the incredible podcast that Joe Rogan had with Jelly Roll recently. I don't know if you've seen it. You have to see it.
Okay.
It's a must. This man, Jelly Roll, is dropping gems I haven't heard a lot of people drop in a long time, with a vulnerability that is unmatched.
He's the DJ, right?
No, the country singer,
Okay.
Jelly Roll.
Okay.
He lost a bunch of weight. And he's talking about in that podcast how when you tell yourself something, but part of you wants to be that identity, but it's still not sedimented enough that your actual body doesn't believe it, you can start telling. The more you do that, you could start telling how, like, you might tense up a little bit when you say it. You might have a little tension on your jaw. Your shoulders might squeeze a little bit. And if you're not aware enough, these are little signs that just go unnoticed. But these are things that he was noticing about himself, saying, I'm a healthy person. I'm not going to eat that. Part of it was him having to physically clear that out of his system. You have to burn this old wood off. The fat that he was carrying this memory of, like, this is who you are. You're a shameful person. You're somebody who doesn't have any self-control. You're someone who uses food as an addiction. And when he was telling himself all these affirmations on all these things, his body didn't believe him. So he wouldn't stick with things. He had to shift his identity. So part of the work, the biggest part of this work for me, and I think for both of us, is going to be the shit that no one sees. The day-to-day of 75 Hard, the things that we know we're putting in, the work that needs to go into it so that we can make these shifts. So that once that shift is completely sedimented, it's effortless. I'm showing up and I am already undeniable because that's just who I am.
That's always how it works. You're recognized in public for what you do in private.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. You want to wrap us up?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching this very special episode of The Ed Show. If you have any comments, any questions, leave them down below. We'd love to see what you guys have to say. If you haven't subscribed yet, because I know that there's a few of you guys that aren't subscribed, you keep coming back, but you haven't hit that damn subscribe button. Help us get to 50 subscribers, please. I know you could do it. So easy. Just hit that thing. Hit the bell too so that you get notified next time we put one of these up. That being said, I'm grateful for this year and I'm extremely excited for next year.
Absolutely. And we have an absolute dynamite guest for our first episode of 2026. So you don't want to miss that one. Hit that notification bell.
See you next time.